Second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about...
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
English, mother...
Body, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Let's put a smile on that face.
What's up, film fam, and welcome to the Film Room Podcast. My name's Dion.
My name's Scott.
And today we're talking about the 2025 action thriller, The Amateur. And if you're new to the show, Scott and I, we pick a movie, we discuss our thoughts, talk a little behind the scenes, and then we close off with our Filmies Award. So stick around with that. Scott, I'm curious. This is a movie that you actually introduced me to. So I'm curious. First of all, before you give me your thoughts, what was something that kind of like drew you to this movie? Did you see the trailer like on Instagram or YouTube or whatever?
Well, I saw I don't know the first time or place that I saw the trailer, but it really drew me to it because I was like the concept I think is pretty cool. Where it's like this guy that, you know, he's seeking revenge for his wife's killers, but they have it in the trailer where he's like, I can't kill, like I don't have the skill, I don't have the guts or whatever to do this thing. So how do I get around it? And to me, I was like, okay, the way I see this movie going is he's gonna have to figure out ways to like kill these people, and it's gonna be super unique and creative, and it's gonna be really cool. And that's basically what drew me to it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, and when I didn't really actually hear the movie until you kind of sent it to me. Like, I think I saw posters, but I actually never saw a trailer. Like, I never saw like a trailer like in a YouTube ad or anything like that. So when you sent me the trailer, I was like, oh, like I like this. It's a fresh concept, at least with of the recent like era of like just seeing like action movies or like spy movies, and seeing this concept. I was like, oh, I haven't seen a movie like this. Everyone that's like a spy movie, everyone's like a professional. They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
exactly.
You got James Bond or Jason Bourne or like John Wick. Well, John Wick isn't really a spy movie, but
like, Mission Impossible.
Yeah, there you go.
That kind of stuff. Yeah,
your hero is a badass.
Exactly.
And so it's a twist on that. It's like, what if we take the same concept and make him a geek?
Yeah. No, exactly. 100%. And this is our spoiler warning. So if you haven't seen the movie, go check out the movie. But Scott, well, actually, I'm curious. Like, well, first of all, I'll ask you, did you enjoy the movie? Did it live up to your expectations of what you were hoping for when you went?
Yeah, I liked it. Live up to my expectations. I didn't love it.
Okay.
I'm not like, this is like, we were talking Mission Impossible, Jason Bourne, that kind of stuff. I don't think it's on that level.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie. Like I said, the concept really drew me. It basically is a Bourne movie.
Yeah.
Like it's basically, if Bourne couldn't fight, what would it be like? Which is cool, and the creative action was pretty cool. Like when he got the 4 members and he was killing them in different ways, but I don't know. I kind of wanted a little bit more. Like I wanted more of that action. Like when he killed them in the different ways, and the last guy he didn't even kill him, but I don't know. I just wanted a little bit more of that problem solving, and like when he gets stuck in a situation, how does he build this bomb to get out of it, or how does he trick them into doing this, like the pollen in the cave. Like that was super cool. I wanted more of it.
No, 100%. No, I agree. And it's interesting you say the Bourne thing, because that's what led me to like, it led me to that movie also too. And I don't think it was shot the same, but for whatever reason it had like a similar kind of vibe to it, just in this
Well, I think it's a CIA aspect. You know, like Bourne has the memory loss, so there's that extra piece of the puzzle. That's one thing too I think about this movie. Like it kind of was pretty one-dimensional. It could have had maybe a little more. Like there is that CIA conflict where it's like, okay, they're doing black ops shady shit, which is like in the Bourne movies, but they don't really go that deep into it. This movie, it feels really surface level. I think they could have done that a little bit better, but I think that's the parallel between this and Bourne. Yeah,
no, for sure. And I think, and again, the thing that like separates it, where it's just like I feel like I'm watching a Bourne movie with the different guys. Like it's the whole premise of the movie, the fact that he's an amateur. Like Bourne is like the exact opposite of this guy. Like he doesn't even need any weapons. Like Bourne could just handle himself in a room with like just his fists and whatever he finds and just be a killing machine.
Yeah.
And this guy is not that. Charlie's not that.
No, exactly. But that's what I mean. But that's why I was so excited. I was like, okay, when he gets into these situations, how's he going to get out of them? And every time he does, I think it's pretty cool. I think they do a good job of it. I just don't think they do it enough. Like I think or if you want to, leave it that way and not have that much, or I wouldn't say that much because there's a decent amount of action and interesting things going on,
No,
but
I agree.
like all the in between, not all the in between, some of the in between I didn't love. Like I said, the CIA stuff I thought was okay. Like you had the director, she didn't really get much to do. She was on that guy's heels on what's his name, Henderson or
Henderson,
director
like,
Moore.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Who's
Henderson is Fishburne's
It's
character.
Fisher's character. I liked his character. I thought he was cool. What'd you think of him?
No, I agree. I liked his character too. I wasn't sure what we were gonna get from him in the sense of like I didn't know if this is gonna be a character that we were gonna see him kind of have empathy for him and kind of like stick with him to like be like, you know what, I get this guy. Like maybe I lost my wife too. I don't know if we're gonna get like this kind of moment too where he's gonna be like with them, and we kind of get that. I mean, he throughout the I didn't expect him to be like so stone cold throughout it. Like even like after I thought they bonded from the training. That wasn't the case. He was ready to pop him from a phone call no matter what, which is that's part of the job, I guess. But damn, I was like, okay, nothing was formed here.
Well, I feel like they did a little bit because right at the end of the movie, right, he shows up in his car.
But I mean like throughout the movie.
Oh,
like up until that point, like that we don't. That's the only time we were like, okay, he actually did feel something from. But besides that, he was ready to kill him on sight.
Well,
no questions asked.
The only pushback I would give you is when he meets him in that bar.
Yeah,
and he like buys him a drink first and talks to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah,
like he could have just fucking killed. I mean, I guess they're in public.
Not in public. That's why. That's the only thing I realized. That's why I was thinking where it's like, well, they're in public, so I don't even know if this is actually being nice or he's just trying to blend in.
True. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
he could just be a stone cold kill like that. Guys with he hates, he might do that too. He's like, hey, let me buy you a drink. You're about to die. You know what I mean?
That's maybe pretty badass.
That is pretty badass. Like he could just be that stone cold, and that's how I felt with him. Which I was like, didn't expect that from his character, but I liked it. It was an interesting character.
I thought he was pretty good too. Like for the side characters, I think he was probably the best one.
Oh, for sure.
Him or what's her name? Inquiline.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
she was pretty cool.
Inquiline. Yeah, I thought she was good too. No,
all the other side characters,
Yeah, because and like the runtime was it was long enough that maybe we could have got a little bit more from them. But like you said, I don't know. Like the CIA stuff, like I don't know how deep they want to go with it, because then it's like, how deep are you going into the CIA stuff? Where at least with The Bourne, I think in their mind there was more movies coming along, so like they're based off books too. This is based off a book. I don't actually know if there's a sequel to this book, but I don't know if they're like, okay, we're building this and it's gonna build more into as we move on. So they were like, yeah, let's just see how we are confined in this one movie. Let's just focus on this character. If there's interest, then we build more on that CIA aspect. But
yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know what their thought process was in this.
That's a good point. I mean, the side character, because I was thinking about this today because I watched it on Friday, so I've been sitting with this for a couple days, and I was like Jon Bernthal's character, useless.
Oh
Hated him.
yeah, I know.
Hated him. He didn't. What did he do?
Such a
in the
big
movie?
actor too. That's a nice paycheck, yo.
I know. He was good in the role.
Yeah.
Like when he was on screen, I thought his acting was good, but his character was useless. Like he shows up, we see him for the first time at the CA, and he's kind of like with Charlie, and Charlie's like, oh, you want to be friends? Basically, he's like, he wants to be friends with the guy, and he's like, no, I just want you to fix my computer. Yeah. And then we're like, oh, he saved his life, and like there's all this clearly this backstory to him. We're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. And then the only time we see him again is when he shows up and tells him to stop doing this, and then Charlie just blows him off. The fuck was that?
I don't know, man.
Get that character out of here and give me more CIA stuff. That's my thoughts.
No, that's a fair point, because a part of me was wondering. I was like, where else are we going with this character?
Nowhere.
Like, and it was just, and after he was gone after that, I was like, oh, that's it. Yeah. I got excited when I saw him. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. He's back. He's like, well, what's about to happen here? Is he gonna kill him? Is he gonna help him? And then that was it.
Yeah, because it was cool too. Because Charlie's even like, he's like, oh, are you scanning the room? He's like, oh, one of these people could be my assassin. Like, are you here to kill? Because he works for the CIA. Yeah, and they're after him. So he's like, he's on his toes. Like, it could have been something interesting. And he's basically like, hey man, do you want to stop killing people? And Charlie's like, no. And he's like, okay. The fuck was that?
No, it's that's basically what it was. That's summing it up of what the scene was, where it's just like, okay, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
I was like, well, okay, that was totally useless. And you're right, great actor, your big paycheck. didn't
But
get let him do anything. If
yeah,
you replace those scenes with more of the CIA director trying to look into more and finding shady shit, and like, I don't know, maybe it could be a little more interesting.
yeah,
Or I was also thinking with Inquiline, right? Like, her backstory is her husband was CIA and then he got killed. Maybe we get like a flashback of that,
yeah,
or a moment of her like sad about her husband, or like kind
yeah.
of she could, I felt, been more like angry and like looking for revenge. That wasn't really
Hmm.
what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
She was just trying to help Charlie, but I think that could have been a cool addition to her character.
No, that's true. I agree. Well, I mean, as we kind of like we're kind of talking about the plot anyway, but I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious. Like, we'll jump into it. I'm curious what you think of like kind of like the pacing. Like, as the movie kind of started, like we get like Sarah's death, we get that like the CIA blackmailing and stuff like that, and then we kind of go through the training. So, like, how did you feel like how like we paced into that? Because we know where this movie is going. Like, it's one of those movies like you see the trailer and it's not a spoiler, but they're telling you what the plot is. It's like, hey, this
Yeah.
guy's wife dies. He's an amateur. He's gonna go get some revenge. So like the first parts of the movie, we're just going through the trailer basically, and I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious what you feel like. I'm kind of curious how you felt the pacing of that was. It is
I
what
thought,
it is.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really great way to put it. I didn't think of it, but it's totally true. I mean, the first thing I noticed was like all the detailed shots at the start of the movie.
Mhm.
They kind of went
Oh
away
yeah.
from it, which I was fine with. I thought it was a cool way. I mean, because especially at the very, very start of the movie when they're having intro credits kind of throughout the
Yeah.
story. So like we get a few shots of him making coffee. We
Yeah.
get a cool close up shot that I wrote down of him writing code or whatever, and we see the
Yeah.
reflection in the glasses. That was cool.
Mhm.
Some shots of him from behind the computer screen. So that was kind of like slow and it looked cool. And then they went
Mhm.
away from it and the pacing picked up. I thought it was
Yeah.
paced pretty well at the start.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I noticed that too. When I was watching, I was like, okay, like he's like the director's really showing off his chops here. He's like, all right, look, let's just focus on. Let's show you this some nice cinematography and stuff. And like I thought the pacing was interesting too. I make the joke about the beginning of the movie is the trailer, but it's still interesting because we're going through the beats and you kind of get to see how they're building it up. We get a little more obviously with the trailer. We're just kind of seeing their relationship and stuff like that, kind of seeing his work dynamic and stuff like that. So I had no issue with the pacing of the beginning.
Yeah, I feel like you have to at least give us some time with Charlie and his wife to make her death mean something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even though you know she's gonna die, you can't just have her just be just like, okay, you guys know this is gonna happen, so let's just kill her in like the first 10 minutes. Because then you're just like, okay, like I get he's upset, but it's just like we didn't really get to even see her that much, so it just feels like very minimal. But I feel like it was enough. It definitely
Yeah.
was enough.
I agree. And it's funny you mentioned I get he's going to be upset, but I thought his reaction was actually kind of weird. Like he sees it and he's like kind of mortified at first, which I get.
Yeah,
You know, you're watching a video of your wife get
yeah,
killed. Like I get that. But then he's like immediately into like we never see him cry or anything. There's the one
yeah.
moment a few days later, I feel like it seems like where he gets her stuff and he starts crying into it. So I
Mhm.
guess it's maybe the shock of the initial reaction. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like if I see my wife died, I'm fucking that's killing me.
Yeah, no, 100%. I don't know if it's maybe it has to do with a mix of the line of his work that he does. You know what I mean? Where
That's true.
especially this movie very much ties into like today's tech. You know what I mean? Where like you see something is like, is that real? Is that AI? Like in his mind, he's like, I've seen so much fake stuff, and then he does a lot of like fake deep fake stuff in this movie where it's just like it's still, even if you think maybe this is AR, this is real, it'd still be shocking to see an AI video of your wife dying.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't real, you'd be like, "Oh my god, that felt so real."
Right.
Regardless, like that's. But then getting the clothes and everything, maybe that was just more of a closure thing for him. He's like, "Man, this really is real. This isn't fake."
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And that is a good pushback on like the AI and his line of work. He would see death pretty probably regularly.
Yeah,
I mean, it's obviously different when his wife, but
no, for
I mean,
sure.
you mentioned like him doing like when he was scanning his face and doing the
Yeah,
AI stuff, like all of that I thought was sick in this movie.
yeah,
I really enjoyed that part of this movie when he was, because he's a super smart guy, right? When he's
mhm,
figuring out, okay, I'm gonna steal these files from the printer and I'm gonna hide it in my badge so I can sneak out.
mhm.
And I'm gonna when he's looking at the photo of that guy and he's like, okay, this is a vineyard from here and it's warm weather because of this. So
Yeah,
like that shit was dope.
yeah. It's insane. That stuff is crazy. Just to like, because I've seen people on TikTok do that stuff where people will be like, "Oh, where is the like?" They'll be like detectives, like, "Okay, I see by looking at this lawn, I can tell that I'm like, I don't know how people do that. So I don't know if it's BS or not,
Right.
but it's always crazy to see people just be like sleuth detective, like internet detectives like that, and see him just like break it down like that was dope.
Yeah, I've seen that guy, like GeoGuessr, I think is the name of the
Oh,
game. Where
yeah.
that's what you're talking about?
The
Where like
basic that kind of stuff, yeah.
yeah, and I feel like because I always wondered that too. I'm like, is this real? Like, is this
Yeah.
guy? Does he really like see a blade of grass? He's like, that's fucking Papua New Guinea. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? How do you know that?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
feel like he probably just does a shitload and like he just cuts all the bad ones and
Yeah. That's what
I
I'm
don't know.
thinking too, but who knows? Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
who
it's just
knows?
like that. You could just
Maybe
be
he
like
is.
that. I don't know. What did you think of like the little the training? Actually, no. I actually I had a point. You know,
Yeah.
the timing of like his wife dying. Part of me was like, is there gonna be like some CIA twist here? Because first we see like he finds out the documents right about that guy,
Mhm.
and then the next day like he comes into his room, whatever, and he's like right after he sees him, and then they're like, "Oh, your wife died." And part of me like this the conspiracy of like these kind of movies are like, did they
Yeah.
kill his wife? I was like,
Mm.
this is a setup, like, because it was like the next day. He's like, I
Right.
found some files I shouldn't have, and his friend was like, keep quiet. Next day, his wife dies, and I was like, damn, that's a
That could have
strange
been a good. That could have
coincidence.
been a good twist. That could have
Yeah,
been a good little twist that like it was the CIA that it was him that basically ran this operation and had his wife killed. That's interesting.
yeah, I don't know.
Didn't
I just
happen,
thought
but
no, it didn't happen. But part of me was thinking, but then I was like, well, you already killed his wife, so like at that point, what would keep him quiet? You know what I mean? Or like, hey, your mom's next or something. You know what I mean? Like this is how serious we are. Like stop messing around in our stuff, kind of thing. And then
yeah.
he's like, damn, now I got to take the CIA out. I don't know if I had
that's
two more.
the sequel.
Yeah, that's
The Amateur 2.
The amateur ultimatum.
Yeah. I had a point too, dude. When they sent him to go see this therapist, right?
Hmm.
Because like, nah, you're sad about your wife. I get it.
Yeah.
You know, go see this therapist. And she's basically she's trying to figure out if he's fit to go back into his job.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is she asking this? Like, he didn't just ID every single suspect. He shows up in the office like,
Yeah.
this is this guy, this is that
Yeah.
guy, this is this guy, this is this guy. He comes over here. This girl goes to this cafe. Obviously he's good. He's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know. That whole the whole situation was weird too. She's like, He's like, is this for me or is this for them? And she's like, I'm like, what a weird therapist, bro. Like his wife just died. She got killed. He saw the video. Like, yeah, no, it's weird. It was just a
she's
weird,
passive aggressive.
yeah.
Fuck you.
Well, what'd you think of the training session? Like once he finally got to go into the training and everything.
I mean, again, the premise of the movie, I knew he was going to be like bad with weapons, but Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, the guns is specifically.
Yeah, he has to walk up to right in front of him, and he still barely hits the target. I'm like, God damn, man.
Thankfully, he never really had to use. He never used that gun. He never had to use it.
No, yeah, you're right. He never does. But like the first thing of the training, I liked when he met Fishburne.
Mm-hmm.
Like they meet and he goes to go in the backseat of the car. I'm like, he even makes that joke. He's like, I'm not an Uber driver.
Yeah.
Like, why are you going into the back seat? Like, if someone offers you a ride, you're not a child. Like, get in the front seat. But anyways, but then like he keeps missing his shots, and then Fishburne takes the gun and like, pow, 2 in the head, 2 in the chest. I'm like, I get like this is a movie thing. You're showing how badass you are, but this isn't training. That doesn't. You're not.
Yeah,
teaching,
I know.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm trying to learn and you just do that, I'm like, cool, you can shoot. I get it, but like you're supposed to be teaching me. You're not just trying to show me up here.
Yeah,
man.
you know, you imagine it's just like, yeah, you have a basketball coach, you're missing threes, Curry just grabs the ball from you, cups. I'm like, okay. What did that prove? What did that do for us right now? Besides you bring my confidence down even lower.
Exactly. You literally just shit on my face. Say like, see, look how easy this is. Like, that's why I'm here, man.
Yeah.
Like I get it. You're good at this. Fuck you. Help me. That Curry, that's funny, man.
Oh my God. It's that's a good. I didn't even think about it like that too until you mentioned it. It is, yeah. That what does that do for the person you're training? Just to show them that, like, hey, you suck. Look how easy I can do this. Like
literally, that's what it was.
That's basically what he's doing. Oh my goodness. What did you think of what's it called? Like how he kept like seeing his wife. Like they kind of incorporated that, like the flashbacks. Like, did you find that like a useful like tool for throughout the movie?
That's a good question. as far as useful tool, not necessarily. I mean,
Like
I
in the
think.
sense, oh yeah, go.
Well, I was just gonna say like he lost his wife and he's sad about it. Like I get it.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to bring her back as like a ghost. I thought it was kind of like it was kind of interesting. Like when she popped up for the first time, I was like, oh, he's kind of like seeing her. So like it's obviously weighing on him. So it's showing that side of his character. But I feel like it's not necessary.
Mm.
But I didn't hate it. Like I thought it was interesting.
Okay. I think though I should have worded it in the sense of like in comparing it to the different ways they could have done it.
Mm,
Which is what's your point? I agree with you to a certain extent because like I feel like different ways you could do it is like maybe he's like constantly you see him like looking at the pictures. Like I feel like you don't have to remind the viewers so much of like why he's doing this. We know why he's doing this, but I think there's also like just that added element where like yeah, you start to feel for him, like a constant reminder, like, oh man, imagine if I lost someone close to me where you could do the thing of him like looking at pictures or maybe show flashbacks. But I feel like the flashback thing is a common thing done. So I think this is not saying something that's never been done before, but I think it's useful in that sense when I say it's
mm.
a useful tool where it's like, okay, you're doing something a little different.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, we even do get a couple flashbacks. There's the one
Yeah.
where she gives him the plane as a gift.
Hmm.
But you're right. I do agree with you that like if you're gonna do this to like try and make us feel for him a little bit more, it's an interesting way to do it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And yeah, again, because they sprinkle it all around, like in the club, like whenever he's in his room, basically whenever he's well, not whenever he's alone, because sometimes he's in public. Like I said, the club it'll happen in public. So yeah, I thought I liked it
Yeah.
personally, just how they sprinkle it in there.
Yeah, I agree with that. And
Mhm.
I just I wanted to jump back a little bit and just give a
Okay.
shout out to director Moore. So
Yeah.
when Charlie comes in and he's demanding all this shit, right? He's like, "Okay, you're going to teach me to so I can go kill these guys and I have this dead man switch. I'm going to release the files of all this corruption you did, whatever." And he's like, that means you're gonna expose yourself too. This is treason. You'll go to jail, idiot. And like he says it so point blank, like right to his face, that killed me. And then he follows it up with, I don't think you could beat a 90-year-old nun in a wrestling match.
Yeah, that's wild.
Disrespectful as fuck.
So disrespectful, man. It's like you don't know what he does outside of this.
Yeah. He
This
could
guy,
be him.
that's
He's
what I'm
small, sure,
saying.
but
Doesn't mean anything. He could train. He could be jujitsu. You don't know what he can do, yo. Let him lie on his back, and then let's see that 90-year-old try to mess with him, yo.
facts.
He could do
Facts.
whatever. You don't know what he's about.
Yeah. Get in full guard and just
That's what I'm
armbar.
saying. Don't judge a
Armbar.
book by its cover.
Oh, we get Joe Rogan in there. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
she's hurt.
But like you mentioned it earlier, but like when we get the what's it called, the reveal of the other hacker, what was her name again? I forgot.
Inquiline.
Inquiline, yeah. So what do you think of like the introduction of the Inquiline, and I guess kind of just like her arc? We kind of talked about like how she introduced and like their relationship, and then how she died. Like, what do you think of her?
I thought she was like a decent like sidekick, kind
Yeah.
of like a guy in the chair, as you could say,
Mhm.
maybe girl in the chair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought her backstory was cool. So she had clear motivations as a character,
Mhm.
which I liked. Like I said, I think it could have been even better though. Like if she was more like had that revenge thing, like these guys killed my husband.
Mhm.
You know, I want to help you get back at the CIA. I guess more she's helping him get revenge for his wife from the
Yeah.
terrorists that killed her, and he's not really getting back at the CIA. So I guess that revenge thing doesn't even make sense. But I don't know. I
Mhm.
feel like it could have been maybe that could have been her side, but like, okay, I'll help you get these guys, and then afterwards you help me get the CIA. Or, you know what I mean? I feel like there just could have been a little bit more.
Yeah,
But I did
could
like
see
her.
that. No, I like that character too. I didn't expect it. Like I knew he was gonna keep talking to her, or wouldn't know it was a her until they finally like showed her. But I knew
Mhm.
he was gonna keep talking, and I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, I'll help you out kind of thing. And then it very much became I was like, okay, it kind of as a viewer like okay, because he's kind of sporadic. He's doing everything. He's running in public and doing all these things. He's like, okay, now he's got someone at least looking out for him. So
Mhm.
now it's not as much as like a stress. You're still stressed as a viewer for him because it's just like someone can come around at any moment. This is spy stuff, so like that bartender could be someone in disguise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I liked your introduction of her character. And then how did you feel? How did you feel about the death? Do you feel like there was enough that it when you saw it, like it shocked you, meant something to you, or you expected it? I don't know how you felt about.
I don't, I wouldn't, I didn't expect it.
Hmm.
I also wouldn't say it shocked me.
Yeah.
Like basically when they started running away, I thought it was cool, her chicken like alarm system. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then they started running away. She had all these like this planned escape route, and they started driving away. I mean, it was kind of lame that they got shot by like the boat. I was like,
Yeah.
just drive more inland. Like I feel like that's not that
Yeah.
hard to try and get away from. But I don't know. I thought it was, it was kind of whatever. Like
Okay.
like we're comparing this to a Bourne movies. Like there's a car chase in pretty much every one. There might be one in every single one.
Yeah.
And if this is the version, this movie's version of it, it's much shorter, much less action, and it just a little less meaning to it. Like it's just a step down, in my
Yeah.
opinion. It was
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. I there as far as their relationship goes, I was buying to it. I was wondering how far it was gonna go. I was like, there's no way he's moving on from his wife that fast. And then
Yeah,
like
when she wants to cuddle with him.
yeah. I that moment I found that moment actually pretty touching. Just the fact that she's like, oh, I want to lie next to someone for the first time. And I was like, oh damn, like yeah, you don't need like in that moment I'm thinking like, yeah, how long has she's been alone for so long now. And obviously she's a hack and everything. So everything's undercover and all that stuff. So I was like, oh damn. So to me, it didn't crazy shock me because I was like, something's gonna happen with one of them. I don't know if they're gonna get arrested. I think she's gonna get popped like that in that moment. Part of me was like, it wasn't. I didn't think there was plot armor around her. I was like, there's no way she's gonna die.
Yeah.
But I definitely was like, oh snap, okay, I didn't know this is gonna happen right here.
Actually, now that I think about it, she's driving the car when she dies, right? She's on the
Yeah.
left side of the car, the driver's side, and the water was on the right side, no? So they're shooting from the right.
Yeah,
How did she get shot and he didn't?
yeah, I don't know. I think maybe he ducked or something. I don't
Maybe.
know. I think
Maybe.
he was kind of like, yeah, but she kind of had to keep her head up a little bit because she's on the
She's
wheel.
driving.
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah. But you're right though, as far as like the placement. The
Yeah.
bullet it curved around him and just got her in the head, bro. Or I don't even know where it hit her. Actually, I don't think it was head.
No, I don't think it was head.
No, I don't
Because
think it was head.
maybe chest. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I did like her character. As we were kind of talking about her earlier, it was just like I didn't think it was like, oh man, the movie like took like a downfall like as she left, but I was just like, oh snap, like this is getting real now. Like I thought
Mhm.
this was gonna be like his sidekick that was gonna help him throughout this, and they're gonna like, I don't know, they're gonna be like the hackers on the run kind of thing.
Right.
Kind of
Yeah.
setting them.
It could have been cool, and I mean, I don't hate that they
No.
killed her. But yeah, she was a good like we were talking about all the other side characters. There's not CIA characters are kind of whatever. Jon
Mhm.
Bernthal, he's useless. So like as far as the rest of them, she was one of the best, I think. Like I said, she had her backstory, so we understood why she was doing it. Very clear motivations, which is important, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure. And as we're talking about deaths, like we can kind of go through, kind of. I'm curious what your thoughts are on like on the kills. One of them we saw like in the trailer, but we kind of teased it earlier, like the Gretchen's one, like Gretchen's her demise from like the pollen to the cars. What did you think about the whole sequence?
That was it was cool. Like
Mm,
when he locked the door and he gets in and she like basically as soon as I see her, she's
on the bike.
biking and she has the thing in her. I assumed he was gonna put something in the tube that she was breathing into.
Mm,
Like so I was like, whatever it was, I was like, okay, this is gonna be cool. Like she's
yeah,
locked in this box. Like there's gonna be something cool here. I didn't expect the pollen. Like when he went
yeah,
and bought all those flowers, I didn't really know
yeah, same.
what that was, but I thought it was cool.
No, for sure. I didn't think he needed that many flowers. He
It was a
got
lot of
so many.
pollen.
It was a lot of pollen. I don't know what he. And I did. Was there like I don't know if I missed it. Like, was there a part where he searched up and it said that she was allergic to pollen or something?
It's a good point.
Because I like when he was just like, oh, pollen. I was like, is she allergic? It's just like,
I just yeah, I
yeah.
now that you mention it, yeah, I feel like they don't show us where I just assumed like
It's not good to
he
be breathing in that much pollen
well,
in
no,
general.
honestly, I assumed she was allergic and he knew,
Yeah.
but you're right, they never actually show it.
Or I don't know if it was like a very slight thing that I
Maybe it
just
was cuz he
missed.
was in her apartment, right? So maybe
Yeah.
there was one where he took a picture of the calendar, but that was like the appointment of where she was
Yeah.
going.
True.
So
Yeah.
I don't yeah, that's a good point. I guess he found something in the apartment. We'll just leave
Yeah,
it at that.
I guess so. Yeah, he did his research. We're
Yeah,
just slow. Maybe there's no like rewind or anything. So it went by. We saw it, and then. But
right.
anyway, no, I agree though. I thought that was pretty badass too. It was one of those things where I was like, damn, this guy. We saw him. He's kind of shaky with the trigger and stuff. But like when it came to that pollen, it was just like we did see a little remorse, but he was just he was ready to go, man.
Yeah. So like that for the concept of the movie is like, no, he can't kill. I can't do it. So you can't do it with a gun, but you can do it with pollen. Like that seems kind of weird because like you're right. As soon as you take the gun out of his hand and replace it with pollen, he's totally fine doing this.
Yeah.
Like he had no hesitation to do this. I don't know what the difference is with a gun, I guess. You know, he says he's not a killer, but you're killing this woman.
Yeah. And I almost wonder if like torturing someone is worse than
That's
the
true
killing.
too.
Even
Yeah.
like if you just pop someone, then it's just like but like you're watching them suffer as you go. I feel like that's
And then she
almost
gets
another.
smoked by the car. I did not expect
Oh
that.
my god, I did not expect that either. That surprised me.
Yeah.
Unexpected car hits are always wild. It's just because the
Yeah.
car, you don't see the car in frames. It just suddenly just boom. It's like, oh snap! Like I was like, yeah,
And then
she
he
did.
walks up slowly, steals her phone and runs
Oh, yeah, I
away
know,
in the
I
middle
know.
of the street. I was like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's so.
That's not
sus.
okay.
It's so suspect. And
It's
where was the
insane.
driver? Immediately getting out of your car and be like, yo,
True.
I just hit somebody. So a lot of beats went by and we didn't see that driver go to check
That's a
if that
good
person's
point.
dead or not. It's
Yeah.
crazy work.
Yeah, that's a good point with the driver. We touched on that scene going into her house. What did you think of that scene?
Of just like if of him like almost shooting her kind of thing.
Yeah, because like, I mean, he starts by like watching the YouTube video to pick the
Yeah,
lock.
that was hilarious.
That was
Yeah, that was
funny. You know,
funny. Yeah, I
that
like
was a
that.
good little touch that they did. And he has the gun and he's pointing it at her. Like, did you expect him to shoot her? Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
I definitely didn't expect her to him to shoot her, but I thought there was gonna be a moment when they turned around and be like, "Yo, what the heck?" and then he'd run away, kind of thing.
Mm.
Like I thought he was gonna like just like get caught because again, he up until this point, this is the first person he's going after, really. So like he's kind of clumsy and like not is like subtle with the things that he's doing here. Even just the YouTube video thing, I'm like, dog, you couldn't brought an AirPod or something. You're playing this out loud,
Or
like,
watch it
that seems a
before you
little
go.
sus.
Like, you gotta watch that at the hotel before
Yeah,
you went to
that
do
too.
this.
That's a good point. I don't know why he was doing on the spot. Movie magic. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny though. I like that. And then him going through the apartment. This movie I felt like did a good job of building up suspense. You know what I mean? Like I felt there were all those moments where it was like, oh, something could happen. You know what I mean? Like someone could pop up. Like I felt those in those moments. I didn't necessarily think like, oh, he might die in any of these moments, kind of thing, in that kind of sense. But I was just like, oh, like something could happen. Like this guy's on the run. CIA is looking for him. We're seeing them doing all that. They're digging up through his house looking for like see if he's bluffing or not and stuff like that. So I did enjoy that scene.
Yeah, that's a good point about building up suspense, and I think kind of the way that she dies with the car, where it's not built up, like it's
Yeah.
supposed to be like a jerk reaction, like whoa shit, like like they run out of the building, and like you said, the car's not in frame, and it just bangs, she's gone. So it kind of like it makes those stakes be like, okay, so bad things can happen in this movie.
Yeah.
But you're also right that like building up suspense when he's stuck, I'm like, okay, he's not gonna die. He's the main character. I don't think, and he's only killed one person by now. Like,
Yeah.
he's not gonna die. But it interests me where I'm like, okay, he has to how is he gonna get out of this situation? I think he's going to, but I don't know how, because he's not just gonna fight his way out. You know, if you're in another action movie, okay, he's gonna fight these guys and he'll get out. He's not going to do that because that's the whole concept of the movie. So how is he going to get out of the situation? And that's what I think is interesting.
100%, especially because like I feel like they establish a good thing of like he's not like he's not crafty in like in his disguises or anything like that, or like he's not subtle, like especially like again, he's doing the YouTube video, he's going into the house, he's pretty like quiet and stuff like that. It wasn't, and even him sneaking in, but even him with just like being at the top of the steps with the gun, he was about to shoot her in broad daylight before the car hit her, just gun out. I'm like, dog, what do you do?
That was
so let's say you do shoot her. Now what? All these people just saw you shoot her, and it's just like now you gotta go kill three more people.
I mean, in his defense, when she died, like we said, he walks up, steals her phone, and walks away, and nobody does anything. So he could have shot her in the head. Nobody would have batted an eye.
Apparently, yeah, runs away. It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of the go to the next kill? Like when you go to the rooftop pool.
Oh, I mean, we saw it in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I mean, like it's maybe visually the coolest one. So that's probably why they put it in the trailer. You know, I get it. You got to grab. So I thought the scene was good, you know, when because Fishburne's in the scene, right? So he's there, and Inquiline's guiding him through, and because they're chasing him, and then they also have this other CIA guy.
Yeah.
right? Where like she says, okay, this other guy's CIA, so I assume that Fishburne and him are working together. I think that's what they're meant to for us to think.
Hmm.
And then there's kind of the flip that he's the CIA director's guy,
Yeah.
right? Because he was like, or she suspected more of doing some backward shit, so she's like, oh, let's get our own guy in the case. Um, so when there's that flip, when they're both like coming in, and I was like, how does he get out of the situation? And then they start fighting each other. I was like, oh shit, that's her
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. No, that was a good little surprise. I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, he might be really done here. He's got two guys coming after him. And
Yeah.
like Fishburne's character, like Henderson, he was catching up on him. He was just like, I'm like, damn, how slow are you, man? Henderson's kind of built, like he's kind of big,
Facts.
bro. The guys look like a lineman coming for the quarterback. I'm like, yo.
And you have someone in your ear giving you the layout of the building, telling you where to go. I'm assuming he doesn't have. Maybe he does. Maybe he does.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
That's
I, I that confused me too. Because also like she's guy like, oh, he's don't go this way. He's down the turn left, whatever. But it's like it didn't matter. He caught up with him anyway. He was right on his tail. I'm like, I thought you see this guy. Why don't you tell me to go the exact opposite way? Like go upstairs. Don't go downstairs. You know what I mean?
I mean, this is one moment too where I was kind of like. Something I didn't like about Fishburne's character, because you're right, when you were talking about earlier, you were saying, I felt like he was ready to kill Charlie on sight. Like we thought maybe he had this relationship, but clearly not.
Mm-hmm.
But in this scene, like he catches up to Charlie and grabs him, and he's about to like stop him, and then he's gonna fight or something. Like you're just shoot him. Like he could have just shot him. So I was like, why? What's going on here?
Maybe because he knows there's cameras. And his whole thing is about like he just wanted him to be like he wants to be like a kill that like nobody sees or like no one's gonna find him. So if there's a record of like him pulling up his trigger and shooting him, like it's out there somewhere. You know what I mean? That's the only reason I thought in that moment where I was like, why isn't he just shooting? Then immediately I was like, well, there's cameras everywhere.
But he shoots the other guy.
Yeah, I guess. Well,
the CIA guy, they start fighting in like the laundry room or whatever. That was actually pretty cool. When he
was pretty cool.
Stuffs his face in the laundry machine and then shoots him through the door.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. And I liked this whether they introduced the conflict with the CIA, like they had their own guy, but kind of like in the Bourne movies, like we were talking about, but it kind of doesn't go much after. It doesn't really go anywhere more after that. Like we just kind of see at the end of the movie when they're like, okay, we figured it out and now we're going to hold each other accountable and blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't know. I feel like we could have got maybe one more guy that they sent that he had to kill or something. I don't know.
No, that's fair. I agree. And I think at least even to go with like the fact that he shot the other guy, maybe it's just like, hey, it's a self-defense thing. This guy was coming at me. So maybe he's
True.
like,
that's a good point.
It could work in my favor versus like Charlie. If people just see me pop this guy, they'll be like, why are you just popping that guy who's just running?
Yeah, shoot him in the back of the head in cold blood. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, exactly. But and then we get the other like the interrogation in Romania, like the bomb, like where he has the guy open up. So what did you think about this one?
That was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool. Like when he again, I didn't know what to expect. Like he sets up in this warehouse and he's scanning his face, and I thought maybe that was part of the kill. It's just to throw the CIA off, which I thought was a cool little nugget that they put in.
Yes,
but when he shows up and he like. The things are there and he calls him on the phone. I didn't know what was going to happen. Then he opens up and arms the bomb. I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah. No, same here. I didn't know because again, that's the appeal of the movie, right? Where we got the pool scene from the trailer, but like the Gretchen thing we didn't know about. Like we didn't know we didn't know about this one. So like every time, okay, he's going after the guy, how's he gonna do it? He's not gonna do the exact same thing. He's gotta do something differently and creative. So I didn't think this guy is freaking he's like the Joker, man. He loves bombs.
Yeah,
he loves bombs.
Kind of.
And I thought that was interesting too. I like that. And that the little walk off is the only connection why I made it think of the Joker. Like when he did the little walk off in the two hospitals, that made me think of that.
I do have that's a good point. I do have a question because the arms dealer, like the guy that he's killing.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a couple questions for this guy.
Yeah.
So my first one is, why is he buying these weapons? So Inqualine is like, I know this guy. He's the dealer. I can set up a meeting with him to buy stuff. But you just had two of your former operatives on a job that you did in London get killed.
Yeah.
Like, someone's coming after your group. Why are you going and buying it? Like, no, go hide. If someone offers you these weapons, don't accept the offer.
Yeah, that's true. Greed got the best of him, man. That's all it comes down to.
And my next question, I guess my next question is for his buddy, because he shows up with another guy.
Yeah.
and he just
Yeah.
like leaves
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Charlie walks up and he's there.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I thought he was like across the city, like in another building where they can't get to
Yeah.
him. He's there. Where did this other guy go?
He just dipped, man. He read the room and he's like, that's a bomb. That looks
I'm
real.
out of here.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, true.
The guy told me, yo, put your guns down, chill, chill, chill. And after he told him that, he's like, all right.
I'm out.
I don't get paid by the hour, bro. Like, I got kids.
Yeah, basically. But but it was cool. Like you said, we don't know how he's gonna do it. It's gonna be unique. It's gonna be creative. How is he gonna do it? And it was great every time. But we only got
Yeah.
3 of them.
Yeah.
We
No,
could have
it's
got
true.
more.
No, that's a good point. Or just different situations where not necessarily he needed to kill someone, but just him using his brains. And we did get that in the club. There was
was
that in
gonna say,
that was a scene I really enjoyed too, where it was just like there was in the club, and then at that point I was like, how is he gonna get out of this? Like more of those kind of things. Like
Right.
how is he gonna get out of this? And he's just like timer and then boom.
That
I
was
like,
sick. I didn't
that
expect
was
that.
hard. I didn't expect that either.
Yeah. Yeah. Like this, every time they do it in this movie, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's always like, I didn't expect it. I didn't know he was going to do this. Like, there's a lot of good turns and twists in this movie, but I don't know. Maybe there is enough. I guess it is maybe just the characters being weak that I didn't like as much.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Like, cause I think, now that as we talk through it, I'm like, well, yeah, besides the kills, there was certain elements where like they were using tech, and there's other things that, cause and just in general, I loved the whole hacking and like tech
Yeah.
element. We've been talking about it like with the deep fakes and all that stuff, and apparently they actually had like a CIA consultant on set, like helping them like consulting like all the hacking and all the agency protocol, trying to make it more feel realistic. I wouldn't know if it was realistic or not because I have no background on this stuff, but it did feel authentic for the most part. It didn't feel. I'm like they're going by the business, like, and the fact that they had to like answer to higher ups and all these things, like all these different elements. It felt authentic in that sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't know how did you feel about, like, we kind of talked about just like the tech and elements and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Did you have any
I thought
other
it was,
points?
yeah, I thought it was really cool. I mean, I don't have anything specific, I guess, that to point to, but I thought it was cool the way, because we can see him. They're showing us like how he's figuring this stuff out, like the steps that he's taking to get to this point. We don't really see it much with the bomb in this case.
Yeah.
But like we saw it at the end when with the boat, he's like, okay, this boat always goes and it's connected to this boat, and then here's the Finnish border, so if we have to go this far if we want to do this. So like they're showing us the steps he's taking, which I think, and like we said, the flowers thing where he's getting the pollen, like he could have just had a big ass bag of pollen, but they have that little scene to show us that this is how he's getting to it. So I like that these scenes are in there.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then obviously we talked about the Punisher, like how his character was kind of just like we didn't really need it. But how did you think of kind of like how it concluded? Like we kind of talked about the kills and kind of talked about Fishburne's, some of the side characters, but in the end when it came down to the conclusion, the face to face, how did you find a way how it ended? What were your thoughts?
I thought it was all right. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. Kind of, that's almost my feeling for like a lot of this movie. Like there are parts that I love, but a lot of it was like, it's okay. Like I thought it was interesting where he's in this situation. I'm like, how is he going to get out of it?
Yeah.
And I didn't expect him to not kill the guy, because the whole movie he's like, I want revenge for my wife. Fuck these guys. I want to kill these guys. And then he lets him go. I was like, why? I didn't really love that, but I did think it was interesting where like when he reveals, he's like, no, I've been driving the boat the whole time, and now we're in Finnish waters, and the Navy's here, and you're fucked. I was like, oh, okay, that was pretty interesting.
And that's where like I agree with you, and then I give you the pushback, because I think leading up to this point, I'm not saying you didn't enjoy the movie. We said it was good, it wasn't great, and I agree. I don't think it was like a phenomenal, like amazing movie, but I do think it was really good, and I enjoyed it. And I would tell people to go check it out.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
If someone said like, oh, I heard you saw, like, when I saw my sister yesterday, and I was telling her, I was like, oh, I saw the amateur movie. She's like, oh, I actually wanted to watch that, which I was surprised, because I was like, I didn't know if it was on her radar. I always just assume like she's younger than me. She's younger than me by 8 years. So I'm like, I don't know if we're seeing the same trailers. I don't know if we are going to have the same interest in movies, but she was like, oh, that movie looks really interesting. I'm like, you should check it out. It's good. I didn't say go check it out. It's amazing. Go check it out. It's good.
It is.
But
it is good.
to me, I think the thing that like turned me on the movie that left it from being great was just the ending to me. And
Okay.
it kind of goes with what you were talking about with his specific wording. It wasn't just the wording, but there was a part of the moment where you said he didn't kill him, and you're kind of like, okay, didn't love that. To me, it's what he said. That's like, all right, get on your knees, right? Because he's like, I want you to feel what she felt in that moment, and then he's like, now I feel good because then you felt that. But to me, it didn't make sense because this guy handed him the gun, saying, "You are not gonna kill me. I know you're not gonna kill me." He's like, I'll get on the ground. I know you're not going to kill me. And he's like, now you felt what she felt. No, he didn't.
Yeah,
Because he
true.
knows you're not going to kill him. He didn't feel anything.
That's a great point.
So that to me, that was such a weird thing to say. This
Yeah.
guy's calling you. Only reason you have a gun in your hand is because he's saying you're not going to kill me. And then you didn't. Your wife did not feel the same thing he felt in that moment.
That's a really good point. And the whole reason, like, throughout the movie is like, okay, I can't kill these people because I don't have the skill, basically, right? We saw him in the gun range.
Yeah.
And he's missing all these shots and everything, and so it's like, okay, he can't shoot. But when he pulls up and he's 5 feet away from him, he's shooting the gun. So like he can hit him from that close. So like, to me, like, the aspect of the movie is like he doesn't have the skill to fight people, so he doesn't do it. It's not that he's not willing to do it, because like we said with the pollen and the bond, like, he's killing these people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
so
100%.
he can kill people. So at that point, it's like the concept is kind of out the window, where it's like he doesn't have the skill to win a fight. Okay, but he's holding a gun to this guy's head from point blank. He has the skill to pull the trigger right now.
Yeah.
So you're right.
No,
It
100%.
doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, which is, again, that was the main thing that kind of like turned me on. I was like, okay, I've been enjoying this movie. There's a lot of things I've loved from like the tech aspect. I like how it was all over Europe, and just seeing a just different dynamic. You know what I mean? Like, we see a lot of spy movies and stuff. They'll kind of be in the same spots or the same kind of uh scenarios, but like I felt like it was pretty fresh in the sense of that. But yeah, it was just like the way that the final conclusion, which again, that's a big part of the movie. The way a movie starts,
For
the way
sure.
the movie ends, like that sticks with you, and that stuck with me. And I was kind of just like, I didn't love that.
Yeah.
So
I totally agree with you. And it actually it brings me back to a line that I wanted to shout out when it was in Quilline,
yeah,
when it was in the scene at the hotel scene in Madrid, when he's scoping the guy out and he's swimming in the pool,
yeah,
and she says, you know, you could just shoot him from there. And he says, you haven't seen me shoot. So like,
yeah,
it's not, there's nothing that crazy about the line itself, but I like that they put it in there, that like she's just not just like accepting the premise of the movie.
yeah.
Like, it makes it real, right? Like,
No, for sure.
for us, we understand, okay, he's not going to shoot him because we know the premise of the movie, but she doesn't know that.
Yeah,
She's
no,
like, why
sure.
don't you just shoot this guy? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that they put it in just to be like, it makes it feel a little more real and less like a movie in that sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, 100%. Yeah, and that's a good point on this movie. Like a good aspect of this movie is just the fact that it does feel realistic. It feels authentic. You know what I mean? Just the way the characters are. Like, again, as much as I'm saying I wasn't in love with the ending, I feel like it was authentic. It was shot well. I was interested in the story. I was interested from the trailer to even get into it. I was just very intrigued. Like, how is it going to end? What's our final conclusion? And I feel like it ended more so like, even though it's a very self-contained movie, I felt like the way it ended was almost like it ended in a way of like, okay, this is leading more to a sequel or something. Like, there's these guys' story isn't done between that guy and the guy that got arrested. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't feel like he's like, okay, he got arrested, but like in movies, those kind of guys, they never stay in jail. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I remember,
Yeah.
like, the next movie's gonna open up with him getting broken out of jail. You know what I mean? And like,
Right.
I'm gonna get that Charlie guy. You know what I mean? That kind of shit or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That
So it
is a
felt.
really good point, actually. And you made a good point about like the locations of this movie.
Yeah.
That's another way with parallels that I found, a parallel to Bourne. Like, we're in
Yeah.
Istanbul and we're in Madrid, and like we get that, a lot of that international feel, international spy movies. I liked it.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Did you have any other things on, like, I mean, the rest of the movie was just kind of like the exposing of the CIA corruption,
Yeah.
and then like just like the closure of like with him and his wife kind of thing, and then
Yeah, I didn't.
we get that scene with Henderson.
Right. Yeah. I was just kind of wrap up. I didn't really think
Yeah.
there was anything like that. But I did want to ask you about like that puzzle
Mhm.
that his wife gives him.
Yeah.
Like, so he's we kind of see it a few times throughout the movie, and then when he opens it, it's like a little compass about like for when you're up in the like it's the plane thing basically. And like, did you think it would be something more important? Like, I thought it was going to open and it would be something that he would use to save himself or to kill somebody or something. Like, it just kind of was like a gift from his wife, which like that's what it was. But like, I don't know. For the movie, I thought it could have been something a little more.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like if it was just a memento, but it wasn't like a memento that was just like, oh, if I take this and I put it into this part of the plane, now you know what I mean. It turns into a transformer. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's a good point. I didn't expect it to turn into anything, but like as you mentioned, now I'm thinking like, well, yeah, why was it kind of there? It did not like it ruined anything, or it was just like. But yeah, it is a good question. It's like, yeah, why'd you add it in there?
Yeah, that's really it. Is basically like because they show it multiple times.
Yeah, you're
like
waiting.
If they showed it at the start, you know, he gets this gift, and then they show him opening it at the end, and it's like another touching thing. Oh, I love my wife. Cool. But like they showed it a few times, so I was like, oh, this is something. Like this is meant to be important, and then it's not, and I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about it. Cause just like, yeah, it's just a little wholesome moment, just a little wholesome thing, just
all right, sure.
I was gonna say to remind him of his wife, but like he's seeing her all the time, so it's just like,
right.
There's just another element, just to like constantly, hey, remember he's doing this for his wife. Which
I did have one more question. It was the we keep bouncing around, but whatever.
No, it's fine.
The pool, when he kills that guy in the pool, right?
Yeah.
So he stops swimming and he's like, okay, I got this device. It's going to break the glass, blah, blah, blah. So swim fast. And the guy, I feel like the guy is really close to him, no?
Yeah, it did.
And then he turns around and goes to swim the other direction. I'm like, what is this guy? Like, am I wrong? And was he in the dead center of the pool? Like, I felt like he could have swam a few feet in front of him and got out. And like, if he's worried, like, okay, if I get out on this side of the pool, then this guy's going to kill me. So I have to go back to the other side.
Yeah.
But that's not what this guy is. I mean, I guess he doesn't know that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
True. that is a good point. Because it's like when they were talking, it felt like he was very much closer. From the distance, it looked like, okay, yeah, maybe he's in the middle. But yeah, every time they shot to them like talking face to face, which in real, like they probably were close just for like just the face to face, just like to get them both in frame and everything. But yeah, it didn't feel like he was in the middle. And I was like, wait, why is he swimming? I thought the exact same. I was like, why is he swimming that way?
Yeah, like he chose to swim 3/4 of the pool instead of 1/4 this way. Bad choice, man.
In his defense, like he doesn't know what this guy's about.
Yeah,
like you said, he doesn't know this guy is an amateur. Do we have a Family Guy moment in this?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, it's tough because the amateur. If someone said the amateur, it'd feel very unnatural.
But
the word amateur is fine.
Would it count though if he was like say Laurence Fishburne? You know, when they have their training, when he's in that room and he's like, put the gun on my chest, like, you know, when he's doing that to him, and then Charlie's like, he doesn't shoot him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, also in this scene, what did Fishburne
Henderson?
expect him to do?
Yeah,
actually shoot him in the chest,
him?
like,
yeah,
because if he's like, okay, this is how I prove to you I'm going to kill you, is by actually killing you, like,
yeah, I know.
Was that the plan here?
I thought it was gonna be. I thought the gun was gonna be not loaded, and like because he's such a like an amateur, he doesn't even realize that like he's got an unloaded gun or something. So he's gonna pull. He's like, oh damn, you actually do have it in you. And then maybe there'd be like a joke, you're gonna pop me just now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, that's fair. But that could have been a moment for our Family Guy moment, like when he doesn't do it, be like, you're an amateur.
No, but the movie's the amateur. That's what I'm saying.
I would count that.
You would count that?
I'd count that.
I don't know. I feel like I have to hear the amateur.
It's got to be word for word.
Yeah, because then it's like, okay, that's a bit like the Rush Hour thing. Like we just previously did a Rush Hour episode. Like, it's not the Rush Hour, but just
right. That's what I mean. Yeah, like and like I don't know. Those are words, they don't count.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's like that hacker guy. He's not the hacker. He's the amateur. Yeah. I was trying to think of a way where it could be said where it wouldn't be ridiculous.
Super corny.
Yeah. Like that's the only way I can add, like someone like correcting someone. It's like, oh, Charlie's like, that's not Charlie. That's the or like he's on he's
yeah, he's on the phone with the guy, like, who are you? Are you the killer? Or like, yeah, are you the killer that killed the other past person? No, I'm not the killer. I'm the amateur.
Click. They're not here to fish.
Oh my god. Shout out to
Little
Captain
callback.
Phillips.
I watched
Yeah,
Captain Phillips yesterday, so it was on my mind.
Oh, did you?
My little sisters wanted to watch it for whatever reason. They never seen it,
Okay.
so they're
Good
not here
movie.
to fish. This is on my mind, like amateur. Click.
I do realize though we skipped our family meeting again
Oh snap! Damn.
because I realized that when you were because you were talking about your sister, how she was saying, oh, I was interested in watching The Amateur, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out. So that was the question that I asked. So this is on our Instagram, by the way, for anybody that is not aware. So at the Film Room Pod, we throw up a question every week where you can give us your comments, be part of the conversation. And so I asked basically just, are you guys going to watch this movie? Because I was wondering that too. I was like, I saw actually a decent amount of promo leading up to the release.
Yeah.
Like just out and about. I was like, oh, this is good. Like I'm glad they're promoting this movie. I think it looks pretty cool. But I also hadn't heard a lot of people talking about it online, and like I wasn't sure kind of what the interest was. So I was curious. Yeah. And 67% of people were like, yeah, I'm interested. Like I'm going to check it out. 17% said, nah, not really my thing. And then there was 17% as well that said, I haven't even heard of it. And I kind of expected a little more to have not heard of it.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised I was wrong. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm surprised too. You know what? I think this movie, even though it's coming out a week before, all the press right now is around Sinners.
Yeah.
The big movie right now, because there hasn't been a big movie out recently. I think at least for like mainstream too, because Mickey 17, that's like film people know it, and then it might have leaked out because Patterson's in it, and like the guy that made Parasite, like that kind of like maybe like traveled, but Sinners that's been pretty big. Like a lot of people are talking about it. Like you got Michael B. Jordan, you got like Haley Steinfeld. Like it's pretty big, like face of people, and then obviously just like the film people, because they know it's Coogler. It's just like it's being shot in IMAX in 70 millimeter and like all this stuff. Like it's getting a lot of press. So this movie, I was like, oh, it's gonna get kind of like there's a big shadow over it.
Right.
It's kind of tough for it to get some press, but there's big actors in this too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you got Fishburne, you got Mac, like you got what's it called?
Rami Malek.
You have
Jon Bernthal,
and even his wife. Like she's gonna be Lois Lane in the new Superman.
Yeah, Rachel Brosnahan.
Yeah. I forgot her name for a second, but
I have it right in front of my face.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
I'm not flexing my knowledge. Yeah. It's right in front of my face.
But no, it doesn't. I'm happy to hear that there was a decent amount of people that were excited or interested in the movie. But I was thinking the same thing too, where I was expecting it to be a little higher, just because just Sinners is just like this casting the shadow that I figured it's just getting more press right now.
Yeah, you're right, and you're right. Like Michael B. Jordan, like he's almost a bigger star than Rami Malek. Like Rami Malek, he's won an Oscar, so maybe to movie people has more cachet, but like to general public, Michael B. Jordan, like he's big, he's good looking. He was in all these big movies. Like Rami Malek, he's been in some pretty big movies, but I mean, he was in a 007 movie. That was pretty good. And actually, he talked about that was a big inspiration to make this movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I thought that was interesting too. Because I was funny when I saw this. I was like, it's funny. This guy's playing a spy. He was just like played a villain in the Bond movie. Now he's playing the good guy. Very different.
Yeah.
But
I mean, even in that movie, he doesn't fight physically.
Yeah, no, it's true. And the thing is too, and we're shitting on him. It's just like in your sense, it's just like I feel like not only has Michael B. Jordan been in like these big movies, because he's been in big movies too. He was in Oppenheimer, but he's not getting like the lead. Like Michael B. Jordan's in big movies and also being like a lead or like a big part of it. Like Creed and Black Panther just alone in itself is like those movies were so massive, and Creed turned into like a whole trilogy. Right. And it's pretty well loved for the most part. I know people have mixed on the last movie, but and then him being Killmonger was just such an iconic character that he's just and the ladies love him now.
That's what I was gonna say too. Like Rami Malek, like he's an average looking dude, I guess, and like as superficial as it sounds, it's real. Good looking people get more opportunities and stuff. It's just
and there's two Michael B. Jordans in this movie.
That's true. That's true.
And Haley Steinfeld too. Like she's not ugly.
No, you're right.
So but
and Coogler,
Yeah.
Coogler is starting to get a little bit of cachet even in the like to non-movie people.
Oh, they're gonna
like,
say he's handsome. And
oh,
Coogler
he's
is
a
even
handsome
pretty
guy too. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking dude. Yeah, he's always got a clean braid up. I've noticed.
No, he does. No,
Yeah, he's
100%.
always looking pretty dope. He's got I like the mustache.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
no,
a
I
good-looking
agree.
guy. Yeah.
No, 100%.
What's wrong with what's your
I'm
hate with Ryan
not.
Coogler?
I'm
man?
not. I just didn't know where you were going with it. And you're like, hey, and Ryan Coogler is handsome too. I'm like, all right, my bad, bro. Yo, Coogler, if you're listening to this, you're a good looking dude. I'm sorry. I didn't mean.
Yeah.
But no, I know what you mean though. And I agree.
He's gonna
too,
say
like,
no when he wants to be on when we ask him to be on the pod next.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, one of your hosts thinks I'm ugly.
But yeah, no.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I'm just saying that like this movie, like as we're talking about the whole poll, like we're going on tangent here, but
Yeah.
no, and all in all, I thought this movie was good. And as far as like the family meeting goes and stuff like that, with people their votes on it, I encourage people to go watch this movie. If you're listening to the podcast, I assume you've already seen it, but I think this is definitely worth watching.
Yeah, because I mean, we always say like, even if everybody says a movie sucks, check it out for yourself.
Yeah.
We always say that. So even if it's a movie that we don't like as much, we'll still say like, yeah, go check it out. But in this sense, like I would recommend this to someone where I'd be like, no, like this is a good movie. Like if you like the Bourne movies, you'll like this movie.
Yeah, no, exactly. 100%. I agree.
Yeah. Well, I do have a little fact actually.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the florist, like when he goes to the flower shop, Martha Keller is her name, the actress's name.
Yeah.
And it's actually a little cameo because she was one of the stars in the earlier film adaptation. So in 1981, when the book came out, there was a Canadian film adaptation that same year, and she's one of the stars of that first movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did see there was like an 80s movie like that first. I don't know if I wonder how different it is in the sense of like, especially because like with the tech, there's no way the tech stuff was all the same. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of curious. But that's an interesting little tidbit. I didn't know it was Canadian.
Yeah. So they threw her in for a little cameo because she even had a funny little joke when he's like, okay, I want all of these. Those two, I want all of those. She's like, wow, you must have done something really bad.
Yeah, that was good.
She thinks he's getting like the house for his girlfriend because he cheated on her or something. That was kind of funny.
No, that was a good line. I like that. But no, I don't have any other facts besides I didn't fill in there.
Then let's get into the filmies.
Let's get into it.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Filmies. This is our award show, and we got 6 awards. We're gonna jump straight into it with our fit check. So this is the best or worst fit of the movie. Dion, who got your fit check?
All right, so we always talk about it's a little harder it doesn't necessarily have to be hard when it's a new release, because sometimes like when it's an old movie, you can kind of scrub and be like, like you choose between this, unless something like really pops, then it's like that's it. This movie, there wasn't something that really like popped to me, so I just wanted something simple that I liked, and it was just his blue Adidas fit in the club. I was just feeling it, very European to be rocking the Adidas tracksuit like that. So I'm giving it to Charlie slash Heller, for that little
Charlie Heller.
Yeah, Charlie Heller. Yeah. Well, I don't know, like if you want to go first name last name, I was just but I'm giving him this very simple fit.
I like it. I honestly had thought about that for a while because as the movie was going, you're right, there wasn't anything that was jumping out at me, and it's always in the back of my mind, especially when it's a new release, because like you said, we only have one chance to watch this thing. I guess we could go back and watch it again. But
that's true.
So I was kind of thinking, I was like, oh, I kind of like this tracksuit, very European, as you mentioned, because she even Inquiline tells him that.
Yeah.
Right. He pulls up and she's like, take your hat off and do this because now you don't look so American.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the fit. Mine actually did jump out at me.
Okay.
And I gave it to Mishka Blazic's girlfriend. So that's the guy that gets killed in the pool.
Yeah.
So his girlfriend, in the hotel scene, like he sees him at the reception, and we see her a couple times throughout the scene, and she's got a matching like long skirt and shirt, top, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's sparkling like crazy.
Oh shit!
She's kind of like it's not like front and center in the screen or anything, and she's like a side character, so they don't make it a big deal. But I noticed it, and I was like, that was pretty clean. It's pretty clean.
No,
Especially about my fit.
that's a good pick because I imagine just the fact that like we know who the guy is, like this rich guy, he's got a lot of money, so
Right.
you always assume like he's probably got like a trophy wife or whatever, and she's probably flawed, like flexing hard. So I can imagine that the fit was probably crazy. So
Exactly.
I can't, I don't remember it, but I believe you. So I'm gonna take your word on that. Was wild. Imagine we make up a fit for really. It's like it was a quick scene. Like I don't know if you read. This guy was just like a clown in the back. I thought it was crazy, so I had to give him.
Yeah,
a
this
fit.
guy had all Balenciaga on. Trust me, is there?
Yeah, it's like
Is
I
there?
believe you.
All right, next we're gonna move to our favorite quote. What was your favorite quote?
So my favorite quote went to Henderson.
Okay.
And it's actually in that same scene. It's when he catches him, like he tries to escape out of the bathroom. He doesn't. He's just sitting there. He's gonna buy him a drink, and he says the line is like, "There is no Three Valley salute in this work. We're the John Does who get found in the dumpster, if we get found, which you won't." Yeah, and I was like, "Damn,
Tough."
that was tough." In that moment, I was just like, that was the first time I was like, "Oh, like." There's no sympathy here. Like I thought it was gonna be like, you know what, man, like I might help you escape. You're just gonna disappear. I'll say you died. Like,
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna kill you, and then they're not gonna find your body. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was tough.
That's a great quote, and that's why it's also my quote.
Hey,
Banger, bro.
Oh,
I had it like I shouted out a couple of the earlier ones that I liked throughout. So like I was like, okay, maybe it could be this one, maybe it could be that one, but like this was just tough as shit.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was so tough.
Like what is it? We're the John Does that get found in a dumpster if we get found.
Yeah,
which you won't. That's tough. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
All right, certified quote. I like it.
Yeah,
I feel
like that.
quote is a pretty rare one to get certified.
100%. Yeah,
because there's like
so.
hundreds of lines in the movie, right? So,
Exactly. And it's like, which route is this guy gonna go on? Is he gonna go something that like he found was funny, he thought was deep, he was like, oh snap, like I didn't expect him. You know what I mean? There's so many ways to go with that, but we went the same route. Like you could have went the flower thing. You shouted out that flower quote. Maybe you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go the funny route. You know what I mean? So,
but it wasn't better than that.
No, that wasn't.
It wasn't. All right. Well, next we got our Nas Reed Award, our 6-man award. So this is someone with a small role in the movie or behind the scenes that did the most with that opportunity. So who gets your 6-man?
So I haven't done this in a while, and I think it's because I watched Captain Phillips. And I remember how you gave like that, like, well, actually, I won't spoil who you gave it to, but you gave it to someone who had like a very small.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You gave it to someone who had a really small role. I'm like, I'd be giving it to like choreographers and all these things, which well deserved, all those ones I gave, but like I'm gonna go for someone that was like really in it for like such a small amount of time. And it's when they were when is in that moment when he did the deep fake thing, right? And then his face is getting spot all over the place, and they're like, oh, he's here. And then like they realize, and it's like I don't know, I gave it to like one of the guys that was saying it because it was one of those things where it's just like, oh man, like he's in Spain, whatever, he's in this thing, and then they're all realizing like, okay, he's deep faking. And then there's one guy, he's like, he just showed up on a bus, and the dude just closed his laptop. And I'm like, dog, you're not catching on. So I gave it to that dude for just not reading the room.
That's hilarious, bro. I fucking love that pick. That's a great pick. Because everybody else is like, oh.
Yeah.
Like he's popping up here and there and there. They're like, oh, and this guy's just not getting it.
He put up and like he thinks he's adding knowledge to the room. Yo, he pulled up on a bus in dog.
We got him.
Yeah,
we got him. He's on a bus in Delaware. It's like, no, he's not, man. Shut up. That's a great one.
You got my 6-man for that, man. That killed me.
I love that. I actually kind of went a similar route.
Yeah.
So a very small role in the movie. So and it's a CIA guy. I might even be the same guy. I really don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I even looked, and I think his credit was just like CIA operator or something.
Yeah.
Like CIA team number 2 or number 1.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably the name of my guy. I don't.
Yeah.
Even
Exactly. So it's the guy that called the magnetic skimmer. So for how he stole the files, because they were like, how did you can't plug in a USB to your computer. How did he steal the files? He's like, you could skim the printer. And that's what he did, right? He did it on the printer. So this is the guy that thought of it. And because it's the same guy that when they're in that bar, remember Charlie goes to the bar and he leaves the disc in the jukebox.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same guy where he's like, all right, what else do we have in this bar? And he's like, well, I found this under the jukebox.
Ah, yeah, that's
So
true.
this
That
guy,
dude came in clutch.
that's what I'm saying. This guy,
Oh,
he called
snap.
the fucking printer skimmer. He found the CD in the jukebox. This guy's on top of it. He needs a promotion.
I didn't realize it was the same guy, man.
It's
Good.
the
That's a
same guy.
good note on that, man. Give this guy a raise, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
That's crazy.
Unless it's the same guy as yours.
Yeah, I don't know.
In which case
You-
he's also an idiot. But I actually don't know.
Now my second viewing of Amateur is just gonna be looking for that guy. He's like, is this the same
Yeah.
guy?
Is
I'm
it
like,
the same
okay,
guy?
valid.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's a good one. That guy, that's true. That guy came in clutch. I didn't realize it was the same guy, and the fact that he did both those deserves it. Well
100%.
deserved.
Yeah. Two good six-mans. I love that for us. All right. Next, we got our Ferris Bueller Award. So this is our lazy award. So this is what someone did in the movie or behind the scenes. If you notice something that was lazy, didn't ruin the movie, but we're here to chastise people that are lazy. So who gets your lazy award?
So I gave it to Jon Bernthal's character, the bear. I think
The
that was the name
bear.
of his character, right? Yeah, the
Yeah.
bear. Which I was interesting. Why did they have a nickname like that?
See, that's the thing. I didn't even know that because did they even say that in the movie? Like everything about his character sucked. Everything. So I'm
Yeah.
glad he's getting a lazy award from you. I don't know what it is for, but I'm glad.
To me, it's just something very simple because I didn't find anything that really stuck out to me. I was like, okay, that's my lazy awards. But this is something that when it happened, I kind of stuck with it. And then I didn't really notice anything else. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be my Ferris then, because I didn't really notice anything else. But
Yeah.
if you're telling me that Heller saved your life and you need his help again, you're not gonna have lunch with the guy. Like you're like to me, I gave him lazy just for not having lunch with the guy because we don't really know how he saved his life. He's like, oh, what did he do? Saved his life. Right? I mean, he's
Yeah.
like, yo, I'm gonna need your help again. And he's like, finish up your lunch and then we'll talk after. I'm like, you're not even gonna have lunch with the guy.
Yeah.
Like 20, 30 minutes, whatever it is, even if it's that, this guy saved your life. So
Yeah, and if you need help from him, then obviously you want him to like you.
yeah.
So and he's very clear, like, no, I don't got any plans. What
That's
do you want to do?
saying. He's like, all right, cool. Finish your lunch and then we'll talk after that. And he's just like, all right. So he gets my Ferris Bueller for that. Nothing crazy. I'm just like, I was just shaking my head. I'm like, come on, dog.
Just have lunch with the guy, man.
He saved your life.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't know why they never told us what it was, but
That's in the sequel.
That's in the sequel. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you're right. The Amateur 2 is gonna be a good one, man. All right, my Ferris Bueller, I gave it to director Moore and Caleb. So
Okay.
these are the two like black ops, like crooked CIA guys.
Yeah.
So they're trying to kill Charlie,
Mhm.
right? And Charlie comes in and he gives them the whole information. They already have it, but he tells them everything that he knows. So
Yeah.
they know that Charlie knows, okay, these are the suspects. This is who killed my wife. He even calls out like, okay, this girl goes to this cafe every day, blah, blah, blah. And the minute they realize that Charlie's gone, Charlie goes to the site where his wife died
Mhm.
and then to that cafe and they don't catch him. Why is that not the first place you guys are staking out? Like, you know, this guy wants to kill these people. Here's the knowledge that he has. Of course, this is where he's going. What are you guys doing?
That's such a good point. That is such a good point.
Like
That's
he's mad about his wife. Okay, let's put someone looking at this, just have an eye on the situation here in London. This is where the shit went down. Maybe he'll show up here. He knows that this girl's gonna go to this cafe. I'm sticking someone to watch that cafe.
That's a good point. No, 100%. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why they went all over the place just to figure it out. Like, see if he's even blackmailing us or not. But like, yeah, keep an eye on him at the same time. You know what I mean? You have a whole staff of people. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes no sense. That's a good.
Just being lazy.
It's good Ferris Bueller.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You're right. This is another one that's tough. Maybe in a new release, like we're looking for like, is this something like? Sometimes it's glaring.
Yes,
I mean
very
that's
much.
kind of like the essence of the award when
Mhm.
like something glaring happens and we're like, that is lazy as shit.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
But we got to find one every time.
Yeah,
and
no,
so-
100%.
all right, next we got our best scene. What was your favorite scene?
So my best thing we actually talked about a little bit. It was just him breaking down the vineyard picture when he was like looking at that guy and he's just like talking about like the grass and be like, oh yeah, this like it's gonna be it's probably in this area because of this, and like, oh, look at the church, and you can tell by it's a blurry ass church, but then they zoom in, it's like, oh, you can tell by the style of like when the church was built that it's probably in this area, and look at the sunset on his glass, and I'm like, what? And then like And then they caught the reflection of his girlfriend in the picture too, which I'm like, damn, he's
Yeah.
seeing all that. And she's like, oh yeah, it's like, and then they found out his girlfriend. It's like, oh, this is his girlfriend. Boom, connection. Go to her Instagram. Where did they go next? I was like, I thought that was a hard scene.
Yeah, yeah, you're totally right. That was sick. And this is what one of those things, like the aspects of the movie that I really like, where like I said, they're showing us like how he's figuring this stuff out.
Yeah.
They could have had him just show up in Madrid and like, oh, there's the guy. I found him through blah blah blah. Like they could have just brushed it off, but no, they made this cool way of like, how the hell did he figure this out? And they showed us, and it's super interesting. It's sick.
Yeah. No, 100%. I agree. But what about you? What was your
Mine, actually, I guess is the next one. So it is.
Okay.
It's the hotel in Madrid.
Okay.
So it's that scene. I mean, it kind of took a little bit of the awe away because we saw it in the trailer. Um, but to me, like that's not necessarily even why I'm picking this scene. I thought, even though I think that was cool,
Yeah.
but it got my heart pumping the most. Like you said, they build up suspense really well in this movie, and this one got me the most when he's getting chased by Henderson and the other CIA guy.
Yeah.
We talked, like you mentioned, you're like, how the hell is he gonna? There's two of these guys, and like how is he gonna get out of this? And then when the flip happens, when I realize it's the director's CIA guy and they're fighting against Henderson, I was like, oh snap! I didn't expect that. And we get the scene with him at the pool that visually is really cool. Yeah, to me, I just like that the most.
Yeah, no, and that's a great scene. Like I 100% agree too, where it's like the flip. We were talking about like what things shocked us, what things surprised us throughout the movie, and what things didn't work. It did work, but like that flip got me. Like I didn't see that at all. So like that was very much more like, oh snap! Like I was like, damn, Charlie's about to get got. Like how is he gonna get out of this? And then that flip happened. I was like, oh snap! So that's a good scene.
Actually, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking, I'm not so sure that Henderson is very good at his job. I'm just gonna say this
Okay,
right now.
go.
He had plenty of opportunities to kill this guy.
Yeah.
You made some good points that like, yeah, maybe there's cameras around, or maybe he doesn't want to do it in public, blah blah blah. But at this point, so he kills the guy in the laundry room.
Yeah.
The guy shoots him, so he's like sitting down or whatever, and he's like, "Oh fuck, I just got shot." Charlie enters the room and is standing right in front of him. He
Yeah.
could just shoot him.
No, it's a good point.
He just shot that. Like your argument about like cameras and shit is out the window for this specific point because he just killed the other CIA guy.
No, 100%.
You did say the self-defense thing though.
Well,
Maybe,
I was thinking the same thing with you though, where like when he walked in the room, I was like, "Yo, Charlie, what are you doing? Like he's gonna pop
Yeah.
you." His whole
Yeah.
thing is he needs to kill you. Like even if he's about to die, he's like, "Well, let me get the job done. Let me pop you." Like that was the first thing I was thinking. I was like, "Yo, what are you doing? He's gonna kill you." And
Yeah.
he didn't.
Another lazy word. That's my second lazy word. All right. Last but not least, we got our MVP. Who is your most valuable player?
So my MVP went to Gary Spinelli. If hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. That's like it's one of the writers. It's the It's
Okay.
one of the writers for it, and it's always tough when you look at like the writers and you see like multiple writers. So I'm like, who do I give it credit for? I was kind of like looking into it a little bit and saw like who kind of, and again, I don't know the internet people giving information on like who contributed what parts to the story. So I just went with the first story that I saw that fit my narrative, and I'm sticking with it.
Okay, I like it.
So it said that like he, as far as with the writing, he was a part of the process that updated the story to focus more on like the cyber warfare and like the tech aspect of it, and brought that in. And so I'm gonna give him credits for that because I thought that was so well incorporated into this movie. Again, I never read the original novel or saw the original film, so I have no contrast. But just we're talking about the Bourne movies, Mission Impossible movies, spy movies in general. I just think that was such a unique and, at least for the viewings that I've seen, original to me, just to see this kind of aspect, and felt very modern, just in the kind of things that we know are kind of out there, and then just seeing how they can be used in the spy world with like the deep fakes and all these things like that. So I just thought that was a really intriguing and interesting part of the story. So I gave him my MVP for that.
That's a really good pick. I almost did the same thing because that's what I love about this movie too. Like all the technology and all the problem solving that Charlie goes through and everything is one of the best things about this movie. It's really, really cool. And honestly, a big reason why I didn't pick that, it was because, like you said, I didn't know how to even like figure out who was responsible for that. you said you did some digging and found one thing, and that's good enough for you. And I respect that. You're right. Like, there's not really much else you can do other than that, unless you start making phone calls and stuff and asking who did. But I don't know if you have Rami Malek's number. So.
No, I didn't have enough time, bro. They said I couldn't talk to him until Monday, so I was like, whatever.
Oh shoot. Okay. Yeah. But that's a good pick. I really like that.
Thank you.
I went with Rami Malek.
Okay.
So
it's a good pick.
I'm always kind of torn. Like whenever I pick the lead actor, I feel like it's kind of lazy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But
I feel that
like
same way too.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, as we do movies often, like it's gonna happen. Like the lead actors, like they're lead actors for a reason. And if they do well, like it's not that if they don't deserve it, they don't deserve it. So like I thought he was great. Like I think he was tough and he was confident when he has the leverage. Like when he's in like when he has that guy and he's holding the bomb open, right? And he's like, if you close it, it'll go off. If you cross this laser, it'll go off. And he's talking to him on the phone, and then he shows up. He's like a badass. He's talking to him like he's got all the control, because he does. But like he's really strong and cool in that scene. But also like when he's in physical danger, which is his weakness, he looks stressed and scared and like he's not in control. So I think he played both sides really well. Like when he's running away from Henderson, like going through different clubs and stuff, like he looks really scared, and he's goes in the bathroom and he's looking around. He's like, what the hell am I going to do? Blah, blah, blah. But then he sets up the bomb. So when he comes out of the bathroom, he's confident again. So like, it's a cool dual thing that's worked into the scene. And I think he plays it really well. So I had to give him my MVP.
No, that's a great point you make about like how he played both sides of it really well, and I agree. And like it's something very little too, but to add to your point of like when he was running away from Henderson, it was such like a realistic depiction of just like someone running through a crowd of just like, him just like shoving people out of the way, and everyone be like, yo, what the heck, man? Like, what are you doing? Like usually you don't see that. You just see the push, but it's just like that little thing of realism that just showing the people reacting to it. Like, yo, you shoved a girl over, and everyone was like, yo, dude, you just shoved this girl over. Like they show her like slowly picking her up, and it's just like going out of his way, just shoving people out of his way just to get away from this dude. And you see the panic in him. It's just it's so well done.
And Henderson is like freaking Michael Myers, like he's just walking. He's like you're like, how is this a thing? Charlie's sprinting his ass off trying to get away from this guy, and this guy's walking and he's always right behind him. What's going on here?
That's such a good point too. Yeah, it's just like he's walking pace. Like I don't care how well they trained you in the CIA. Like your walking speed is your walking speed.
It's like those memes I've always seen, like in Get Out, the guy sprinting, the black guy, like the clip of that guy sprinting, and it's like this is Michael Myers when he's off camera. Like you take him off camera and he's sprinting his ass off. As soon as you put the camera on, he's got to slow down and just look cool.
Oh my god, it's so true though. But no, that's a great pick though. I do. It's like I do agree with what you said though about just like how well he portrayed that character. And I feel like there's kind of like a passion project to him too, because like we talked about how we saw him in interviews talking about how like he produced this movie. Like he said he always wanted to do this movie because we were talking about earlier about like how he did the 007 movie. And like he went out of his way to try to find something. Like there was like, how could I do this? Like what's a believable way that I could be a spy? Like I don't look like those same kind of guys. Like I'm not a Tom Cruise, I'm not a Daniel Craig or like Matt Damon kind of look. So like what's a realistic thing that people would find believable? It's like, well, I could do it like this. Like I could be that amateur. This is believable. And he went out and I think he did a great job with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a really good point, that like he doesn't have the physical stature to be like your typical action star. So he's like, okay, if I want to make a movie like this, how can I do it? But like I kind of found it interesting that like just credit the book in that case, like just be like, oh, and then I found this book about like this, the whole concept is the guy has no physical ability, so like he has to do things other ways, and like I really was drawn to that because of my he doesn't, I mean, I didn't watch every single interview that he did for this, but so maybe he did more. But and you mentioned Tom Cruise, and we talked about this a little bit before we started recording, but I just want to let the listeners know that one of the points that we both saw, I guess, in the interviews was that Rami Malek said he talked to Tom Cruise about doing this movie, and Tom Cruise was like, you're going to be an action movie? Get weapons training. And he's like, that's kind of not the point that's kind of the opposite of the point of this movie. And Tom Cruise is like, no, get weapons training. He's like, I don't know, man. Like, if I tell you the concept of this movie, I shouldn't have weapons training. I just thought that was funny.
And I saw he added like another point on that too, where he's just like, and then I got an email from him later, and I just saw the subject line was just weapons training.
Like, Tom, bro, he shouldn't get weapons training. That's the whole point. Is he's not good with weapons, man.
Oh my goodness, that was good, man. Tom's one of a kind, man.
Yeah.
But do you have anything else you want to add on before we
go watch this movie? I mean, if you're at this point and you haven't watched the movie, then what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
we told you all about it, but if that is your case, go watch it. It's good.
Yeah, some people are like that. I know some people they'll listen to the whole thing and like hear someone talk about it, like, you know what, now I'm gonna go check this out. Hey, whatever you want to do. If you're listening, I'm not gonna hate on you for listening.
Exactly.
You want to watch the movie. If that's how you want to do it, appreciate the listen. But definitely go check out this movie if you're one of those people.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and I guess that's it. Thanks for listening as always. If you want to connect with us on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube at the Film Room Pod, we talk about our family meeting. You could DM us comment sections or reply to our stories. Again, that stuff we love connecting with people. Sometimes people give us recommendations. They just give us our thoughts on like whatever. So that's the place to do it. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Again, at the Film Room Pod. And even if you have like you were talking about Jordan, I don't know if you even said that on pod or not, the whole Jordan thing, but him saying that like, oh, it's like sometimes like you guys say an award and I think it should have been this person. I don't even know if you said that on pod or not, but
no, I didn't.
We can. Okay, well now I'm saying it on pod. Maybe you think you have we missed out on an award and you think you got a better award. Hit us up with it. We love
shout you out on the podcast, 100%. Well, 100%. We always will.
And if you've been rocking with us for a couple episodes, I assume you like us, so you can hit us with a review. And we'll read it on the pod. I always forget how many stars, Scott. I always forget how many stars they should give.
The amateur says 5.
All right. Well, if the amateur says so, then you got to give us 5. And Tom Cruise would probably 2. Tom Cruise is gonna send us an email saying guess weapons training and give the Film Room Podcast a 5-star.
Hey, appreciate you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom. I always appreciate you, and it just helps us grow. And we always love to hear from the family. And then again, like I said, we read on the pod. We love connecting with everybody. And with that being said, I always want you to remember, if you find yourself in a situation where you're attached with a bomb, if you jump fast enough and run, you might be able to make it.
That was such bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
Peace out.
Peace out.